The next Kinnah by Koinen Yirmiyahu Yoshiyahu. In the Kinnah's books, page 182, number 11, Kinnah 11. Yoshiyahu, king of Israel, was the son of Ammon. Ammon was a rasha. Yoshiyahu was the grandson of Menashe. In the early years of Menashe's rule, Menashe was a rasha merusha. Both Menashe and Ammon did everything that they could to eradicate Judaism from the land. And they were very successful. Ammon was assassinated by the palace guards 2 years into his reign. And at that time, Yoshiyahu ascended to the kingship. He became the king. He was 8 years old. The examples of his grandfather and his father, notoriously wicked people who had ridded the land of any vestige of Torah, they did not affect him. They didn't stop him from seeking the Almighty. And he became a champion of getting the people back to Torah observance. In the 18th year of his life, Yoshiyahu found out about a great discovery. Yirmiyahu, the Kohen Gadol, father of Yirmiyahu, found a hidden Sefer Torah and opened it up, and he opened it up to the tochacha, to the rebuke in Chumash Dvarim. And the very ominous words of what would happen to the Jewish people if chas v'shalom they strayed from the path of the Torah is what he opened up the Torah to. And he brought it to the king, Yoshiyahu. He brought it to the king, and the king saw what was written, and he rented his garments, tore his garments. So taken was he by this discovery of the Sefer Torah. Can you imagine that the Sefer Torah was discovered? It had been so well eradicated, eliminated, and hidden. And Yoshiyahu led a kiruv campaign. Firstly, to rid the country of all vestiges of avodah zarah, idols in every corner, in every public place, were ridded, were destroyed, were removed. And the people were on a collective path to return to Hashem. But although the majority of the people, the vast majority, returned in teshuva, there were what the Python calls the leitzonei hador, the jesters, the laughers, the scoffers, people that didn't take anything seriously. They still had their idolatry. They still had their avodah zarah. How did they keep it secret from the agents of the king that went from one corner of the country to the other, from the north to the south, east to the west, and looked in every house to see if there was any avodah zarah, and if there was, they destroyed it? How could this small minority of people still hold on to their avodah zarah? So the answer is that they made an image of their avodah zarah on their door, the door of their home, and they divided the door in two, so that anybody that would go in would open the doors and not see the avodah zarah. The inspectors sent by Yoshiyahu, the king, did not see anything. But as soon as the doors closed, there was the avodah zarah. At this time, there was an impending war between two of our neighbors, Mitzrayim in the south and Ashur, the Assyrians, in the northeast. And the king of Egypt, the Pharaoh Necho, he asked permission of Yoshiyahu. Let us march through your country. We will not affect you. We will not bother you. You're not our aim. We're not trying to make you problems. We want to simply get to Ashur, to the Assyrians. We want to fight a war against them. Just let us go through. Yoshiyahu reminded himself of the pasuk. The pasuk says that when we follow the laws of the Torah, imichu kosai telechu, lo yavor cherev ba'artzachem, no sword will pass through your land. Yoshiyahu said to Paro Necho, he said to him, no, you're not coming through. The prophet Yirmiyahu was consulted. The king consulted the prophet. The prophet said, don't be too confident. Don't fight against. Don't try to bar them from coming through the country. They're not coming to attack you. Let them through. Let one country fight against the other. I think it was a prime minister of Israel, you'll excuse me for mentioning, Begin. What was his first name? Menachem Begin. There was a war between Iran and Iraq, and he was asked, what's his opinion? So Menachem Begin, he said, I wish much hatzlacha to both sides. In any event, here was a war between Egypt and Assyria. All the Egyptians asked, let us just go through. The prophet Yirmiyahu said, let them go through. Don't stand in their way. And Yoshiyahu the king did not listen to the prophet. And he sent back a message, no, we're not letting you through. And then the Egyptians, Paro Necho, came with his army and fought against Yoshiyahu. And they ambushed him. And they shot no less than 300 arrows into his body. They ambushed him, one after another, one arrow after another. His shining face became blackened. And as he was dying, he was heard to say words barely audible. And the prophet Yirmiyahu came to hear, what's he saying? Chas v'shalom, is he blaspheming at this point? Because as a righteous king, maybe he expected better. And Yirmiyahu heard the king say, with his last breaths, Tzaddik Hu Hashem, pihu marisi, the righteous one is the Almighty. The Almighty is righteous. I have rebelled against His word, against His mouth, against His word. I didn't listen to the prophet when I should have. This event occurred 22 years before the destruction of the temple. In the book of Chronicles, Divrei Hayamim Beis, it is mentioned that it was established as a rule that whenever a tragedy occurs to the Jewish people, chas v'shalom, they will remember and lament the death of the great righteous King Yoshiyahu. And therefore that is why we recall the death of Yoshiyahu, the righteous king. And from the time that he was killed, the spiraling downward just gained more speed, and the ultimate end occurred. And we're still mourning on this day, and we're still remembering the righteous King Yoshiyahu.